Hey guys, how's it going? So I thought it might be time for a bit of an update here because I have a surprising amount of stuff actually painted. And this is, first off, my kind of potpourri, I don't know, badger monster it kind of turned into in the end. And I went a bit crazy with some ink and some oil wash, brown oil wash afterwards to bring it all together. But I actually think it works okay. I didn't do crazy colors on it or anything like this, but I wanted this to look almost like a little bit of like, I don't know, like a flower or petals or something on its back, and then it kind of blends into the front here, its head kind of, I don't know, crest or something like that. It almost looks like if I can see it as a Pokemon almost, but like a realistic version of a Pokemon. Um, but yeah, he actually turned out pretty cool, and his face was a lot of fun to sculpt, if that's going to focus for me. But yeah, his face here was a lot of fun to sculpt and actually came out pretty cool. So that's another weird monster for the shelf. And there's a little bit of texture work on his base there with different bits and bobs. But yeah, that's him. So we've a good bit to get through here again. This was another one that you might have seen on my community post, was this kind of cat man that I had sculpted on top of just a plastic body. It was a 28mm plastic. I think it was like Arabian sprue that I got from eBay. And I was just like, oh cool, look, I'm going to have a go at sculpting a head on him. And it's this little cat man here. And I'm actually pretty happy with. It's not very feline, I suppose. Some people say it could look a bit like an otter as well, which I can actually see because of I know the length of the neck and that kind of thing. But for how long it took, I'm pretty happy with it. So it's pretty cool. Another kind of option if I want to go make some Khajiit or something like that. This guy's been on my desk to be painted and finished for ages now, so he's finally finished now, and it's literally very, very simple paint job, but with some of that oil wash over it again, kind of just dirties it up and it gives it more of a natural kind of tone as well. I have no idea what this is. It's just some kind of weird creature, so I don't know. This is as well is an Otiog, which I had some paint on, but I wanted to kind of dirty up and bring up to my more recent I don't know, skill level, effort level maybe would be the right way to say it, of painting. And same thing again, it just got a mad wash of the brown oil wash. But I would recommend to people, if they're getting into the oils, is to get some of this stuff, because it doesn't smell anywhere near as bad as the white spirit used for normal kind of the cheaper stuff. This was actually like nearly £6 I'd say for this little bottle. It's a lot more expensive than the white spirits, but it doesn't blow your head off. It won't give you a headache, or it doesn't to me anyway, so it's a lot more pleasant to work with, so I would recommend that. These guys actually were a lot of fun to paint up, apart from maybe the eyes. I'm not super impressed with the eyes, but you know what, once I put the gloss varnish on them, they look okay, and they look a bit weird. It reminds me of the intro to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, the Neversoft with the spike that goes through the eyeball with the kind of tentacle thing on it. But yeah, these guys actually came out pretty cool. Same thing again, they just got some base colours on their different clothes, selection of colours, and then the brown wash just brings it all together. And man, it's really quick to do. Do you know what I mean? If you're looking to put together a warband or something like that for a small skirmish game, the oil wash is the way to do it for sure. I used to be a bit kind of intimidated by them, just because it's a different kind of material, and if you're not used to it, it's very easy not to give it a go. It's kind of like me and airbrushes. I need to get into giving that a go as well eventually. But that's the great thing about the hobby. There's always things to kind of advance and different things you can learn. There's always the 3D printing is another side of it. Getting into different kind of sculpting materials, different tools in general. There's always loads and loads to be doing. But yeah, these guys actually came out pretty cool. I don't have any particular uses for them or anything. It was just kind of a fun little project. I think this guy's my favourite because he looks very kind of upright or something like this when he's reloading his crossbow there. And I used some little pigments and stuff like that on the bases and just through the grass, and just to not have it so green and let's say living looking. But anyway, that's them. These came out pretty cool as well. Pinecone trees. Simple enough. I went with kind of a bluey scheme just to make them look that little bit more alien or fantasy, and the bases are simple enough. A little bit of texture, and the base is Foamex. But yeah, happy with them, you know. Add them to my strange forest, you know. Same thing, 3 of them, and pretty fast to make as well, so I might do a little bit more in the future if I want a more full table. But these are the pinecone bushes. Very simple, you know. It was just a dark green and then a lighter green and maybe a bit of a yellow as well, dry brush on top, but just to have some kind of scatter terrain that you can kind of do different bits and bobs with. And to be fair, it would work with, you know, you could do your D&D as well as any war games, just because the size 28 mil is like literally, I think everything I have is 28 mil. So it fits everything really, and you can go for, you know, sci-fi worlds as well. But I was on a little bit of a train kick, so this is just a really simple hill that's kind of work in progress. Nothing impressive, honestly, but I'll throw some flock on it, and there'll be another one to have in the collection. So it's just another thing. I think I got into some polystyrene is what happened, and I said, "Feck it, look, I'll do some bases because." The more you have to kind of fill a table, the better, and you have some different options. I don't really have any themes of terrain, really. It's all really fantasy stuff. But yeah, that's kind of work in progress. Simple enough kind of stuff. This was the one from the other week that I put together. That was just XPS foam on a Foamex base. And it's got a fair bit done to it now, you know. What did I do? Texture it up a little bit. Put the coconut fibers on the base. These, all the foliage and the plants are from the same Christmas wreath that I've been looting. So you'll see, just if you want to cut it up separately for grass and stuff, it's actually pretty sweet, like these kind of fake spines. I don't know what you call them, but for terrain and stuff, man, it's like, it's actually a really good find, you know, just because, like I said, it was just going to go into the bin. And I think this is pretty playable, considering, you know, it's pretty rough terrain, but it can be used, and it's just another obstacle to have on the table for eventually, when hopefully I do play in years to come. But I've been kind of getting on the kick of Frostgrave. I had a look at it a while ago, and honestly I probably won't end up playing it, but it's kind of a project I might get into, just to put together a warband, you know. Just between coming up with the backstory and the lore and kind of the reasons why wizards might be in this city, you know, is kind of sparks a lot of inspiration. And then from there, either looking at the collection of minis I have or wanting to get some more, it's very tempting, you know what I mean. But anyway, yeah, so that's why I was having a look at putting together bits of runes like this, you know. And looking at it now, I'm like thinking the wall is very thin here, but I'll consider putting another layer on it, but I'll see. It's quite playable as it is, but you know, I can imagine a whole table of this will be very, very fun to kind of sneak around and cast spells and stuff like that. I don't know, the idea of the game is just really interesting to me, and I just need to, you know, find the time and find people that are interested and ready to play it, really, you know. It's the same as everybody, isn't it? And hopefully coming out of lockdown and that, everybody kind of things start rolling again, and hopefully I'll find somewhere like that, quite local, you know. But anyway, so I was trying other things with polymer clay is another thing that I've not really super dove into. I've had it in my collection of, you know, materials for ages and messed with it in the past, but I've not super got into it, you know. This is kind of something I've been building up, well, quite slowly. I think this got baked twice. It's just this little fat tubby guy. I have this, I want to make these little pigmen, these little kind of simple, evil looking pigmen, because I just think it's kind of like a funny kind of bad guy, a funny like low level bad guy that isn't, we'll say, an orc or a goblin or like a kobold or something like this. This little goofy pigmen, you know, they kind of remind me of the orcs from the old animated Lord of the Rings movie, you know. If anybody can remember that. I just remember from the Where There's a Whip There's a Way video on YouTube. I've seen the actual animated movie years and years ago, and I remember the ring rates totally freaking me out. They're horrifying, like it was really weird style of animation or something, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, right, okay, these guys. Yeah, just really simple pigmen, funny, kind of cute, but at the same time evil, and I want them to be quite compact in the sculpt, so you know, maybe eventually I could try casting them, but that's the idea, right? So to start off, I was messing with the clay, super Sculpey. Now this mightn't show up too well, the detail there, but yeah, this kind of ugly pigman mutant and his messed up mace. So these guys, this is the reason that I wanted them to be more compact. This is the more recent sculpt, so that I don't need to be giving them armature like, you know, legs and arms that are kind of finicky and hard to sculpt, honestly, because the face and all that is the fun part. So I'm kind of mad to get paint on this guy, but I need to finish him out. So these guys are going to get some minimal armor, I think. There's his bum. Of course I have to give him a bum. Maybe some loincloth type idea, some little hooves and some curly tails and little ears as well. And just to paint them up just for a bit of fun. They can be like just thugs or like low level, you know, monsters, you know. So that's him. He's the skinnier guy, and then this guy's the big chunky evil pig man. You can see like that. That'd be fun to paint up. I might give him some tusks or something coming out here. Big fat belly, and I'll give him a belt underneath there and some hooves. And he's got a big two-hander here, whatever the hell that weapon is. And some little ears. And yeah, the Super Sculpey is a really cool material for getting stuff done quickly as a base for sure. But it is something I'm going to experiment with more to get confident with. And just a combination. I've seen people combine it with green stuff more to have kind of a longer lasting sculpting time and stuff like that. There's loads of videos for it on YouTube. I wouldn't be an expert in any way, but it's really cool. Honestly, looking at YouTube for stuff is amazing. Like the videos that are out there nowadays is just class. Like I'm kind of jealous that I didn't have this kind of stuff when I was younger getting into the hobby, because literally there'd be little tutorials and stuff like that for any materials going, you know, even before you buy them. So you're not out there kind of wasting your money. But yeah, that's it guys. I said I'd do a quick video kind of showing a little bit of an update of things I've actually completed for once. And as per usual, thanks for the subs and the comments and all that. It's pretty cool. But I would recommend, lads, if you're making cool stuff yourselves, put it up there, you know, and tell us what you're making, and maybe you'll inspire more people to stay making, and we'll all be playing again soon, hopefully. Yeah, cool guys, thanks a million for watching. I'll catch you again soon.